Hi, welcome to Holistically Healthy. I'm Kara, and I'm a wife, a mom, a teacher, and a certified integrative holistic health coach. I own Holistically Yours Health and Wellness, and I have additional certifications in behavioral analysis, detoxification, and hormone health. I love all things health and fitness, but you won't find any fad diets or magic pills here. Join me as we achieve wellness that nourishes your mind, body, and soul. Get ready to discover how eating healthy can be simple and delicious, and how making realistic, sustainable shifts will empower you to achieve all of your health goals. From creative ways to incorporate more whole foods into your diet, to finding joy in movement and practicing mindfulness, together we will navigate the confusing world of nutrition and empower you to take control of your health. And I'll be here to support you every step of the way. So grab your coffee, your laundry basket, or your car keys, and let's dive in. In this episode, I'm welcoming my first guest, Nicole Gerber. Nicole shares her remarkable journey of overcoming a diabetic diagnosis through holistic lifestyle changes. Join me to discover how Nicole navigated her health challenges without medication, transforming her diet and habits to support her body naturally.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Welcome to my podcast.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm excited.
Of course. I'm excited you're here because you're my first guest.
I mean, someone's got to be the guinea pig, right?
That's true. I appreciate you being my guinea pig.
Of course.
So I asked you to be on my podcast as a guest because you had been diagnosed with prediabetes as being prediabetic, and you navigated that journey in such an amazing way to me, like without the use of medication, and you changed your diet and your lifestyle and your habits to really fully support your body. And one thing that a lot of my clients actually tell me is that their when they go to get their blood work done for their annual physicals, is that their numbers put them in the pre-diabetic range. And that's actually one of the questions I get the most is, what can I do about that? Because they don't want to take medication.
Yeah.
So you were able to do that and help heal your body in such a holistic way. And I find it amazing.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. So, but before we dive into that, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My name is Nicole. I'm 48. Oh gosh. But yes, I actually said that. 48, mom of two baby adults. We'll say baby adults because they're 18 and 21. So they're still learning.
I like that term though.
Yeah, baby adults. And I am a teaching assistant for a special ed kindergarten class. So, keeps me on my toes. And yeah, I'm just navigating life and having fun.
I love that. Navigating life and having fun. That's what we should all be doing.
Absolutely. And I don't know if you know this, but I was actually diagnosed as diabetic at one point. And I quickly got it back down to prediabetes, but we can dive into that later.
Yeah, I'm sure you shared that with me several times, probably. But I don't know. I don't know if I it fully registered that.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
So, but that's amazing though. That's even more amazing to me.
Yeah.
So, share with us a little bit about what life looked like before you found out you were pre-diabetic, or before you were diagnosed with diabetes. What were you struggling with the most?
The weight. I was tired all the time. Not really living in reality. Of course, if you're overweight, you're overweight. But do you really admit that to yourself? Not really. Oh, I'm healthy. I'm great. What does that look like? Well, I wasn't going to my annual physical because, if you don't know, it can't be bad.
That's true.
Really not taking great care of my body, if we're being honest. And I think some of us are all guilty of something on some kind of a level like that. So yeah, not having the best, healthiest lifestyle that I could.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that a lot of what you don't know can't hurt you kind of a thing. Yeah. A lot of us have that mentality sometimes. Or it can't happen to me. I'm totally fine.
Of course.
So once you do go to get your blood work or your annual physical and you see those numbers, it can be a little scary,
Yeah.
And it happens to all of us at some point.
Of course it does.
Yeah. But
I think I needed a little reality check and I got it. As I said, I work in a special ed classroom and they got me one year and I got the flu so bad. Didn't know it was a flu at the time, and went to urgent care. And I had noticed when I was using the restroom, it didn't hurt. It was just uncomfortable afterwards. And I'm like, maybe I should, mention that. Maybe I had a UTI or something. Well, little did I know, not only did I have the flu, but I was spilling ketones into my urine, and they did a finger stick test, and my numbers were at 147.
Okay.
Typically, they like to see 80 to 120. Not horrific, not in the 300s where it's an emergency, but he's like, you should probably go see your doctor. Well, I did not have a primary care doctor. Again, not taking good care of myself. So that started the journey.
So that's like a really good reminder, actually, though. Like, you just happen to get sick and go to the doctor, and they were like, hey, wait a second, you might have something a little bit more going on here, because a lot of us don't go for annual physicals.
Yep.
But that just kind of also shows how important it is, too, to like just go for that once a year checkup, because you never know what can be underlying and what's going on in your body until you go and find out.
Right. Like I thought, okay, I'm going for my GYN appointment every year, and I'm going for my mammogram every year. Oh, that's enough. Like I'm doing the bare minimum. And, if they would find it. No, because they're not really diving deep into your whole body. And, now I know, like, do your annual physical. Like, yeah, it stinks. You might have to take a day off work, but who's going to pay the paycheck if you're sick and you can't go to work? And who's going to take care of your kids if you can't do it because you're too sick? So, would we ever not take our kids to their annual physical? No, of course not. Then why are we not giving ourselves the same grace?
Yeah.
And, that reality check had to come to me hard.
Yeah. And that's such an important, lesson to learn and a reality check to have, because so many of us, myself included, we get caught up in like the everyday rush, 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 go to work, come home, make dinner, get the kids to wherever they have to be. And we're always taking care of everybody else, that we're always putting ourselves last.
Yeah. And that's got to stop, especially women. Do a day of just you. I mean, yes, it's almost impossible, but you got to do it.
Yes, you have to take time for yourself, because at some point you're going to come crashing down if you don't.
And I did.
Yeah, at some point, if we don't take care of ourselves, we all do. And we all get that exhausted, like run down, just brushing it off is like just part of life feeling, when maybe there's something more underlying that we need to kind of figure out.
Yeah.
So that, that's a really good lesson. So, when you heard that information, kind of like what went through your mind? Like what?
Not gonna lie, it was almost like, oh crap, what do I do now?
Yeah.
So then the hunt went on for a doctor, pulled everyone I knew, found somebody, and she's like, okay, first and foremost, let's do your numbers. And some of the numbers were a little scary. My cholesterol was high. Like, again, I'm eating all the things I'm not supposed to be doing, like high fat things, all the time, like red meat all the time. It just not good. Sugar all the time, like sweet tea every morning. And I was like, oh, panic mode sets in.
Right.
And I was like, oh, I got to stop. I can't eat anything. Yeah, okay, let's take a step back. But it's panic mode when you first hear a diagnosis of that. And I'm like, what do you mean diabetic? And the things going through my head, like, oh, I'm going to have to give myself shots. Oh my God. My life is over pretty much. And it doesn't have to be like that. And unfortunately, I was like, well, what do I do now? And she's like, just change your eating style, and immediately here's some, you can have this kind of medicine. And I was like, well, time out. What do you mean? I don't really want to do that.
Right. Yeah, it can be very overwhelming.
Yeah.
Especially when you're not given right away, like a step by step. Like, okay, so maybe this is where we start and we change these little things first, and then we change this and we change that, and just like, okay, well, you need to change your diet and lifestyle.
Right.
Right.
And I find a lot of times doctors are so rushed, and it's not their fault. But and of course we don't know the right questions to ask. Like, well, can I do it on my own? What steps do I have to take? And honestly, if you find yourself another doctor and keep going to different doctors until you find the right one. Thought I found the right doctor. Unfortunately, now I have to find a new one. Just they're changing practices. But, find someone that will listen to you. Find a health coach, find a nutritionist. Don't stop until you feel comfortable that you have the right team behind you.
Yes. And I feel like that's also very overwhelming too, because not only are you not sure where to start, especially in the beginning, but you need to find somebody who will listen to you and you need to
Mhm.
advocate for yourself. And so many people don't. It's just like, okay, thanks. Yep. Give me the medication. And what do I do next? It's
Right.
not, well, what's best for my body? And sometimes that is medication. I'm not against medicine or against doctors or anything like that. But it's just knowing what questions to ask and taking the time to process it too, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, I sat with that for a couple days before, like, of course I told my husband before I told anyone else, even friends, um, because you have to process it yourself and you do have to take the time to do that. Um, and I don't know what made me, because normally I'd be like, okay, whatever they say. I was like, can I do this without medicine? And I re- she did. She offered me metformin. I had been on metformin years ago when I was trying to have kids, because I do have polycystic ovarian syndrome. So
Hmm.
back then they're like, oh, you're insulin resistant. I had no idea what that was, and I didn't know to ask. I just,
Right.
in my mind, okay, I'm trying to have a baby, and infertility was kicking in, and it was so many years that I was like, okay, they're offering me this thing, and it was basically like, this is going to help you get pregnant, and it did, and it was great, and I needed it at the time. What wasn't so great was that it hurt my stomach. Like, there's side effects to different medicines. And great. If you need it, that's great. My husband has it. It's working perfectly for him. Um, but I didn't want to do that. I was like, I work in a classroom. I don't want to be running to the bathroom every time I eat something.
Right.
So I did. I was like, listen, what can we do? And she was hesitant, but she's like, okay, come back in 3 months. If your numbers are lower, we'll see if we're going to keep you off the medicine.
Yeah.
And
And
that's where I began.
that's such a powerful choice, like a powerful decision too, because um you were also willing to put in the work to do what
Mhm.
you felt you needed and what you felt was best for your body. And that's not always easy, like especially when we are already tired and we're already overwhelmed and we have that fear, because I'm sure that's also, it's scary to hear that. And to
Yeah.
not know exactly what to do next. So
It
that's
was
like,
terrifying. It was terrifying
yeah,
saying that. It really
yeah.
was.
And it's a powerful decision that you made to try to take the next steps and change your diet and lifestyle,
Right.
you know? So what did you do first? Like what was the most
Right.
important thing that you feel
So
you did, or what were the steps that you took?
So in the past, it was always all or nothing, right? I mean, who hasn't been on a million diets?
Mhm.
Um, and first and foremost, I was like, we're not calling it a diet. It's a lifestyle change. And that's what I had to get my mind into, because if we were going to do this, it had to be for life. And it wasn't just be like, okay, a week or two, and then boom, I'd be magically cured. Because
Right.
reality, that's not how that works. Um, I was drinking sweet tea every morning. I was, soda. I don't even like soda. I was drinking soda just because it was there. Um, so I cut back on the tea. I was like, we're not doing sweet tea. Um, I did try and do iced tea with nothing, and that just was not an option. Um, because, you can't go from sweet tea to like absolutely nothing and think that that's going to be an okay change.
Right.
Played around with the different sweeteners. I learned that sweet and low is absolutely disgusting to me. So we settled on stevia. Started with two, slowly trying to wean myself down now, I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm down to one. And water. Oh, so much water. I have this beautiful 40 ounces of
Yeah,
water.
I love it.
And yes, and
Yeah.
I set a goal that by the time the day was over, that had to be done.
Mhm.
Um, I'm well beyond that now, but start small. Even if you do half of this and you haven't even drank, there 1 8 ounce somewhere is better than nothing. So little small changes. I was like, okay, we're not going to do the pasta twice a week. Yeah, and reading labels. Reading labels was like a big, huge thing.
Yeah.
I mean, who looks at labels? Not me. I was never that person. But yeah, little small changes.
It's true though, because it is so overwhelming and you automatically think, "Oh my God, okay, my whole entire life has to change. I can't have this, I can't have that, I can't do this, I can't do that." But you are proof that changing one little thing at a time adds up and it works.
It does.
You don't always have to overhaul everything at once. And most of the time when we try to do that, that's what doesn't work because we get even more overwhelmed. And that's when we start to feel deprived. But you literally started with water and tea.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is overwhelming. And here's the magic thing. If you start small, you will see changes. I mean, they may not be big, huge, but you will notice something. Um, if you're more hydrated, your body's going to feel better. It's just how it is.
Right.
And when you start feeling better, you're like, oh, well, if I did that, maybe I can make another small change. And it's like magic. Your brain changes. I don't know what it is. And you just keep going. You're like, okay, if I did that, what else can I do? What other small change can I do?
Right.
And then you keep going.
And you start to feel better along the way, like you said.
Yeah.
And that gives you, it's powerful. It's
Yeah.
powerful. And seeing that change and feeling better, like you said, it's like, okay, well, what else can I do to keep feeling like this?
Hmm.
Because once you start feeling like that, you don't want to go back to being tired and, to eating all the sugar. And you find too that when you do eat it, it probably doesn't make you feel very good or you don't even
Yeah.
want it,
Yeah.
right? Like, because your
It's
body just,
true.
it's like, what is happening here? I don't want this
Yeah. Like
anymore.
if I take a sip of something, like I ordered again, I diet soda, and I tasted it, and they gave me the wrong one, and it was full sugar soda. I'm like, oh, this is disgusting. This is absolutely not it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you find yourself if you start eating the sugar all the time, you crave more of it,
Right.
and it did. Like it was about 2 weeks where I was like miserable,
Mhm.
because your body is almost like it's detoxing the sugar, and I was like, I need the sugar. I need the sugar. And I was like, not going to do it. Um, I, I would put a pickle. I would eat a pickle. And of course now my mouth has sour in it. I'm not really wanting the sugar. So like little tricks that I would do, and go drink some water. Like, am I really hungry? Let me go drink the water first. And it sounds so simple and people think that they can't do it, but honestly, taking some sips of water, and I was like, all right, give myself 10 minutes. If I'm still hungry, if I feel like I'm still hungry, okay, then maybe I'll go get a snack. But
Right.
yeah,
And you're really learning too, like you become very conscious of what your body actually needs and actually wants instead of just falling back into those old habits of like, okay, I want some sugar, let me go grab a candy bar. You
right.
take a step back and you really like think about it
Hmm.
um and say like what else can my body be wanting in this moment?
Yeah.
And then like you said the first 2 weeks were really hard because your body is going through a
Yeah.
detox and it has to get used to all of the new the extra water and things like that and figuring out what makes it really feel good because the sugar cravings don't go away instantly because your body is going through a detox.
Yeah.
But you did it. You pushed through and you did it.
Did it. It's, it helps that my husband, I made him go to the doctor. Like he hadn't been to the doctor and more years than I have. And I did. I asked him if I could talk about this and he said, okay. So, he was diagnosed as diabetic and
Mhm.
he was like, this was after I had done it. And he's like, okay. And we had already made the changes as a family.
Right.
So it was a little bit easier for him to implement some more changes. Um, that's not to say that we don't all mess up. We do. Sometimes we're like, oh, I want a cracker. I'm gonna go eat that cracker. And you can. That's the thing. Like if you mess up a day, and I don't even want to say mess up because like we're human. We're meant to do things that maybe aren't the best for us. But you don't have to wait until my mindset was always like, I'm gonna start on Monday. On
Mhm.
Monday. I don't know what it is about Sunday or Monday.
I know. We
Stop
always
it.
say we're going to start over on Monday. It's a new week. I'm going to do it this time on
Right.
Monday.
But here's the magic thing. Every day is a new day and it's
Right.
magic, a magic new day.
Yeah.
And, like in a classroom, if our kids maybe weren't the best behaved the day before, are we going to carry that over to the next day? No, we're like, it's a fresh, great day. Today's going to be an amazing day. So make it an amazing day every day. Like it doesn't, why can't you start over on Tuesday? You absolutely can.
Right. And you have to give yourself grace too. Like nobody's going to be perfect.
Yeah.
And that's what also makes it, like you said, like a lifestyle.
Yeah.
You can't walk around every day like, oh my God, I can't eat that cracker. I cannot have that cake because that's
Hmm.
not part of the lifestyle. But you
Right.
can say, okay, I'm going to have 2 bites and then I'm going to stop if I don't
Hmm.
truly want any more. And that's
Right.
what I think is a big change, that when people try to overhaul everything at once, like, they lose sight of that. Or
Yeah.
when people are on a new diet, every other month, they lose sight of that. And that's why so many people, unfortunately, don't reach their goals, or they feel
Hmm.
like they failed because they don't make it a lifestyle,
Right.
you
And
know?
like, you can't say, I'm going to do it all. Um, you know, there's no quick fix. Honestly, I know we're all searching for that. Why do you think that the health food industry, things like that, it's a multi-million dollar industry?
Yeah,
Um, there's no quick fix.
right.
There's just not. For me anyway. I mean, maybe for other people, but I knew that we weren't going to go on some fad diet. We weren't going to inject myself with things. It wasn't for me. And GLP-1s are great for some people. I
Hmm.
did not want to do that. The side effects for me were very scary. And I was like, okay, let's do this thing. Let's start off small and keep going.
Right. And I know you said your husband gave you permission to talk about it.
He did.
But so can we let's like take a step back for a second
Sure.
and talk about him for a second, because he is taking medication,
He is.
but he also has made all of the lifestyle changes.
He has. You know, in the past when I'm like, oh, we're gonna try a diet, and he's like, what do you mean? What is this we're going to nonsense? We're
Yes.
not doing this. Why should the rest of the family suffer because you decided that you wanted to be on a diet?
Right.
And he's right. But you know, if I'm being honest, we all could have used an overhaul. I mean, if we looked at some of the snacks and junk food that were in here, and you look at the labels, they're scary.
Yeah.
And my kids are young. I'm not going to tell them they can't eat anything, but even they have been more conscious of things they put in their body. Um, the, Again, do they love their fruit snacks? Yes, they do. Have I tried to get healthier fruit snacks? Yes, and I was met with not a great, not a
A
great
little
response.
defiance.
Well, defined. It's like again, they're baby adults, but
Yeah, yeah.
um, but certain things I've switched recipes. They don't even notice.
Yep.
They're old enough to know I'm doing it, but they don't notice, and I tell them afterwards, or not at all. My
Right.
son, if I told him, he might be like, "Oh, I'm not doing this," but they've learned that I'm doing this. They want mom to be healthy, right? They know I'm getting older. They want dad to be healthy, and
Hmm.
they've been some of the biggest support. And they've said, hey, mom, you look great today. Like, not that you don't look great every day, but, you know, that shirt looks great on you. Great. You went down a size. Or, mom, your skin's glowing. Like, did they want some money for that? Maybe. But, yeah. Um, no, I'm kidding. But, they want their parents to be healthy. They want us to be around. I mean,
Right.
one day, hopefully they get married and they have kids. They want us to be healthy, active grandparents one day. And that's what
Yep.
I want. I want to be around. I'm 48. I'm not getting any younger. But honestly feel younger than I have in years and years and years, maybe even high school, because I would get up and I'm like, oh, everything hurts. Not to say that sometimes that's not still the case, but it's less than it
Right.
was. Yeah,
And your kids are amazing. They really are.
I
They're
think
so amazing and wonderful, and it helps, right? Like, your
it
kids, you
does.
just said, are some of your biggest supporters. It really helps to have that support. And
They are.
look at
They're great kids. I do
They
joke
are.
that they drive me crazy, but I'm very blessed. I mean, my daughter calls me every day, multiple times a day, sometimes too much, but I'll take it. I mean, I love that I have a close relationship with them.
Yeah.
And they are, you want to be lifted up, go listen to them. They will talk to you. Um, you know, they'll joke around with you, maybe be a little mean, but that's okay.
But it's all in a loving way.
Exactly. We are a crazy, crazy family. There's always laughter going on in our house. It's a little quiet right now because I'm empty nesting. Um, but yeah,
But they'll be back soon.
yes, they will come back this weekend. I'm very excited for that. Yeah,
But
there's
yeah,
nothing like a mom whose kids are coming home from college. It's amazing.
I know. I can't even imagine. I
Yeah,
don't even want to think about that
don't
right
think
now.
about that. You have years. Yeah, yeah, but it
Don't
goes
even want
very
to think about it
quickly.
right now.
Goes very quickly. It does.
But they're amazing, and they, like, truly, like, kind of accepted the changes that you were making, and
Yeah.
You know, like you said, sometimes you're met with a little defiance on certain things, but you're also teaching them too. You're
Yeah.
teaching them how to be healthy adults, especially
Right.
while,
And
they're at college, they're making their own meals
yeah.
or they're making their own decisions. And that's,
Yeah.
a lesson that everybody should be taught at a younger age.
Yeah. Like my daughter has an on-campus apartment and the meals that she's making, and she'll come home now and she'll be like, Mom, I got this. I'm going to make a dinner. And she might be a better cook than me. Don't tell her I said that. But yeah, like she makes the most delicious steak with rosemary and thyme and like a garlic butter. Bring it on, kid. I don't have to cook for the night. And it's delicious. Like I'm very proud of her. She's becoming an adult. She's baby adult, but she's on her way to
If
like
she's listening,
medium.
she's going to be
Uh,
very proud.
yeah, if she wants to hear this, but yeah. Yeah, let's fill her head some more because my child is not confident at all. Yeah.
But you raised them to be like that, You're a very good
They're
mom and you have
very
two
strong-willed
amazing
children,
children.
but I say whoever ends up with Emily is going to have to be a very able to deal with a strong-willed child. But you know what? Both of them, they have their values. They know what they will and will not accept. There's not going to be a man that's going to walk over my daughter. It's just not going to happen. Good luck to anyone that tries.
But that's exactly how it should be.
Yeah. I mean, listen, if you would have asked me when she was younger, I would have been like, if one of us doesn't make it, so to all those moms out there with a preteen teen daughter, I feel ya, and it does get better. Keep the lines of communication open because, sometimes she didn't want to talk to me and I was like, too bad, here I am, I'm in your face.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But you did. You've raised
Thank
some
you.
amazing kids with, amazing values, and I can't ever say enough
Oh,
good
thank
things
you.
about them. I love your kids.
Well, they love you right back, let me tell you. They
Thank
might
you.
love you more than me some days. I don't know.
That's
Yeah,
easy to say because I'm not their mom.
true. It's true.
Sometimes,
And I love your son. He is amazing. Let me tell
Thank
you,
you.
he's so funny. So funny. I might
Thank
have
you.
corrupted him a little bit the other day. So not sorry. But
It's okay because he had an amazing time.
welcome to my crazy world.
There you
This is
go.
what it's like being friends with me. Yeah. You'll
But you
never
know
be
what?
bored. You'll
You
never be
need
bored.
to be a little crazy sometimes, and you need to be positive
Yeah.
and happy and,
Right.
and energetic
Yeah.
and upbeat, because why do you want to be any other
You
way?
gotta tap into your childlike state sometimes. I mean, come on.
There you
This is how
go.
we stay young and fun and thriving.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother lesson in podcast we should do, actually.
Absolutely. Listen, I work with little kids and for a reason I can relate to them on some level. I mean, listen, if not, we'd go crazy. But yeah.
But it's true. Like, that's part of like having a holistic lifestyle. It's not just about like, okay, am I eating the right
No.
foods? But it's also about like letting go and having fun and, bringing in that energy and that joy,
Mhm. If
you
you're not
know?
enjoying life, what are you doing? What's the
Right.
point?
Right. Why are
Pivot.
you here?
Right. Change what you're doing. There's nothing in life that is permanent enough that you cannot change and make a difference for. If you're miserable, why stay miserable? Life is so short.
I love that. It's so true.
Yeah.
It's such good advice.
Yeah.
I love
Look at
that.
me handing out the good advice. Who knew?
You always do.
Oh, well, thank you. Tell my kids that. Tell my kids
Well,
that. They don't
I
always
always
listen.
come to you when I need advice.
Oh, thank you. And listen, you have helped me on my journey. Let's be real. I would not be exactly where I am right now without you.
Oh, thank you.
Of course.
I'm
Get
glad.
yourself one of her. Don't steal
Aw.
mine. She's mine. No, I'm kidding. You can
Thank
share.
you.
Share.
Sharing is caring. Come on now. What do you tell
It
your
is true.
students?
Yes, this is true.
um, but yeah, so it's so like wonderful how your kids have supported you,
Yeah.
and how open they were, and to some of the changes. Like you said, sometimes we were met with a little resistance, but they were at least willing to try things that you were
Yeah.
doing. And I
I
think
mean,
that that's
listen.
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I
No, go ahead.
listen. There have been some recipes that I'm like, whoa, that was horrible. And does it stink to throw out ingredients? It does. But
Mhm.
listen, when we were learning to cook in young marriage, we didn't always get it right. And that's okay. I mean, we don't want to waste food, but we do have to try things,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's important to realize too, right? Like you're not always going to make something you enjoy or buy something that you enjoy, but you're trying new things, and that's part of the process. That's part of finding out what works for you. You
Yeah,
know?
I used to be like, I don't love very many vegetables, and then you posted that vegetable soup.
Yeah.
I make that maybe twice a month, maybe more. It's delicious.
Thank you.
And when it's cooking, it smells divine. Um, go to Kara's website, go find it. I'm telling you, you won't be sorry. You will not be
Thank you.
sorry. Of course.
I'll do my best to
Just,
link it in the show notes so everybody can just grab it.
I mean,
If I
listen,
remember.
you got to try some things. I've tried some protein powders that are absolutely downright nasty.
Yeah.
You keep going, keep trying. Read the labels. Just try new things.
Right. And reading labels is really important too.
Yeah,
It's you don't realize how much is hidden in those ingredients, especially under words that we all can't pronounce.
for sure.
So the education behind it is important too, to know what you're looking for and know what you're eating. It's super important,
Right.
you
And
know?
like you can't like sometimes you'll be like, oh, I gotta look at the sodium. Oh, the carbs. Oh, take it down a step.
Yeah.
Um, you know, just try and find things that have cleaner ingredients, maybe. Try that. Or look at how many carbs you're eating.
Yeah. Because carbs
Pasta
turn to
for me is
sugar.
is not okay right now. Right. And many people just like, what does that mean? Carbs
Mhm.
can turn to sugar, especially in a diabetic. So is it going to be that I eat a whole bowl of pasta? No, I'm not. If I really truly wanted pasta, a small little dish of it, and I would be satisfied. But I'm finding that I don't even really want it anymore.
Mhm.
And that's okay. The other day, my husband and I are like, oh, you know what? We haven't had a bacon, egg, and cheese on a bagel in the longest time.
Yeah.
So we went to a place that we used to love going to, and we haven't been there in quite a while. And gotta tell you, it was disgusting. It was very disappointing. I didn't even finish it. And if you knew me back then, you'd be like, "Are you out of your mind?" We paid a lot of money for it. I was kind of annoyed, but yeah, it didn't do it for me.
Yeah.
And I was like, "All right, well, we're not doing that anymore." So when I go, do I get some strange looks? But I'm like, "Can I have egg and cheese or sausage, egg and cheese in a dish with no bread?"
Yeah.
And they're not even really looking at you funny anymore because so many people are doing it. You know, ask, do you want a burger? Maybe don't put the bun on it. Ask them to put it in a lettuce wrap. Little changes,
Right.
and I don't even miss it.
Because you don't even realize it, but your taste buds change over time. So
Yeah.
when you go so long without having it consistently, like you said, you don't miss it. You don't want it. And
Yeah.
then when you do eat it, you're like, okay, this is disgusting.
Yeah.
And you find what works for you.
Right.
Last night I made hearts of palm pasta. I got it at Aldi.
Mm,
It's a little more expensive than a box of like spaghetti, but it's a really good swap. And I actually really, really enjoy it. So
mm.
it's like you said, it's finding what works for you. What swaps can you
Right.
make? What food do you enjoy? Because if you're not enjoying it, you don't want to eat it.
Yeah. And
Like
the other thing, I realize how much extra money it is to eat healthy.
yeah,
Sometimes, and that might stop people in their tracks. But think about this: if you continue what you're doing and you don't make any changes, and you do become diabetic or pre-diabetic, how much more that's going to cost you
right.
just in co-pays, in medications, in just your life. I mean, is it going to take off years of your life? And so okay, maybe you don't go get that Starbucks or that Dunkin' for the week, and you take that extra $2, $3, or let's be real, $6, $7,
Yes,
and
yeah.
you go and you find that better pasta, like the hearts of palm, or a leaner cut of beef,
Right.
and you make the switches because it's important.
It's your life. It's literally your life, you know? And it's a really good
Yeah,
lesson to learn or really good something, it's good to think about it in that
yeah,
way.
yeah.
Um, a lot of questions that a lot of times people ask me too, like, what do I do when I feel stressed? Like when I'm stressed, I
Mm,
crave things. Like I crave the sugar when I'm stressed.
yeah.
How have you handled that?
Oh, the stress and the cravings get real. I went one time to a local farmer's market. And I was walking around, and there's this man. He was so passionate about his all natural organic chocolate.
Oh, yes.
And he's like, you need to try this. And I'm like, my daughter was with me, my husband, and she gladly. And I'm like, I don't like dark chocolate. And he's like, just try it. And I'm like, well, I'm diabetic. And he's like, I'm telling you, it was like a piece this little for a sample size. He's like, don't chew it and swallow it. He's like, I want you to keep it in your mouth and savor it. And let me tell you, I've always said I don't like dark chocolate. It was sea salt dark chocolate, and it was the most amazing chocolate. And I was like, what? And I think what made me stop and actually listen to him, he was so passionate about it, right? And so I'm like, well, if he's this passionate about it, I got to try it now. And it does. And I have a bar about this big, and the tiniest little piece, and I'm satiated. So you don't have to say I can't ever have.
Right.
Again, make a little switch. I would have never told you like I like dark chocolate, because there's no way. But the candy bars you might be finding in the grocery store, they are not like that gourmet chocolate, right?
Yes. It's a huge difference.
They might be filled with oils that you don't want to be putting in your body. So find the things that might work for you that are a better choice. Give in to the cravings once in a while. But when I'm stressed, I used to be like, okay, I'm going to go get M&Ms. And I would love those peanut M&Ms, peanut butter. And by the time I turned around, that bag was gone. And I had consumed, I don't know, 1,000 calories. Like, what am I doing?
Right.
And we've all done it. But, I go for walks. That's a big one. Every night after dinner, we try to go around the block, go up, and just like a 20-minute walk. And it does a couple of things. So it's regulating your body. It's bringing those stress levels down. And let's be real, it's a way to reconnect at the end of the day. You can complain about work, but we find now that we don't even do that. We just enjoy each other's company. I mean, might be like, oh, my day was so bad, and like, oh, mine was worse, but we do. We do. I'm not joking. But you listen to just the sounds around you, you notice more things around you. And just I'm in a different lifestyle now, right? My kids are gone. It's a new way. It's a way for me to reconnect with my husband. The walking has done wonders. I do. Listen, I can't swim. I can maybe get from one side to the other of the pool, which my children are both certified lifeguards. My son actually can teach the lifeguarding course. So that's a little funny. But I still get in the pool at the gym, right? And I jog in the pool because let's be real, I'm not jogging in real life. I don't enjoy it. I don't want to do it. Maybe one day. But you can do it in a pool. You don't have that weight on you.
It's easier on your joints and on your body.
The foam dumbbells. I'm doing that. And if I'm just walking back and forth or jogging in place in the pool, I'm still getting that. If I do a half an hour, I'm still doing something. And it doesn't have to be all or nothing. After I try to do 40 minutes, half an hour to 40 minutes. After that, I feel amazing. You just got to go and do it. And what I've been doing, I will pack my bag and put it in the car and put it in the front seat like it's a passenger. Because when I get back in the car at the end of the day for work, it's staring at me like, do it.
I love that.
And so when I get to the top of the hill at my school, I can turn left to go to the gym, or I can turn right. Both ways will get me home. And listen, there's an internal battle, like, just turn right. You can go home. You could be like, but what am I going to do at home? There's nobody here. And I do. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes home will win out. But if it's in the front seat and it's staring at me, it's like, that little voice in your head, go to the gym, you'll feel better. And then I make the left. Listen, I still got to go down the road a little ways. And I could either go straight to the light, or I could turn left into the parking lot that it is. And I still have that stupid internal battle. Like, you could still go home. You'd be home in 5 minutes. But you know what? Make that left. Make that choice for yourself. And, so most of the time, my brain will be like, you listen, you have come so far. Just do it. And I do. And I do feel better. And the stress is like, listen, it's not going to be gone. but my levels are down, and hopefully my cortisol levels get, lowered.
Yeah.
Yeah, just little things like that. You don't need to be working out for hours in the gym, because that will never be me.
Right.
And then, you don't want to put more stress on your body either. But again, I do that. I'll do some weight training a little bit, and let's be real, I'm not good at it.
That's
Um,
okay.
but that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm do something, one small little thing.
Right. And you're prioritizing yourself and you're
Right.
reminding yourself of how good you feel afterwards. Even though
Yeah.
in that moment you might not want to go and you might not want to do it, you are prioritizing yourself. And that's such a big, huge thing. And you're finding stuff that you enjoy,
Right.
right? You're doing
And
things
yeah.
that you like, And
Yeah.
oh,
And
can we talk about laughter yoga for a second too?
yes, it's a new thing. I
talking,
mean,
talking about things you like.
one of my best friends was like, "Oh my God, you got to try this laughter yoga. It's so amazing." And I'm like, "Well, what is it?" And she's like, "Well, it's just, you don't have to do the laugh, like the yoga poses. And it's all laughing. And like, maybe like pretend you're taking a picture, like click, click, and then go, ha, ha, ha." And I'm like, "What?" She's like,
Yeah.
you just have to come." So I'm like, "All right, I'm going to try it." They had like a free come with me. And I dragged you with me, because I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, more craziness. Let's go.
It was so
And it was
fun.
so much fun. I mean,
Yes.
if you, the way you describe it sounds ridiculous, but
It does.
it's so much fun. And they describe it like childlike play. So you'll start and they'll throw a ball at you. And as you throw a ball to someone else, you go, ha, you're working those muscles. You don't even realize you're doing it.
Yep.
It's really fun. So I hope everyone can maybe look up laughter yoga. It's in, I believe, Pearl River,
Yeah.
during the farmers market. And it's so much fun. It's free to go. It's 45 minutes. Bring your yoga mat, towel. And then afterwards, there's a farmers market right there. What's not to like?
Yes.
You
It was
know?
wonderful. Like it was such a good
Yeah.
experience. And I
Yeah.
wasn't really sure what to expect, even though you had told me about it. I was still kind of like nervous, like, okay, I've never heard of laughter yoga before.
Yeah.
But like speaking of lowering cortisol and like working out, like it's a lot of focus on breath work and you don't even
Mhm.
realize it.
Right. So think about it. Like when you're with your best friends and you're having an amazing night and you laugh over something, and so hard that your stomach hurts, you feel amazing.
Yeah.
And if you listen to the guy that like, I guess created the laughter yoga, he says that, the brain cannot tell between real laughter and fake laughter. But what I
So true.
found is that when we went, we might have started off as fake laughter, but we were at the end in stitches over how ridiculous some of the poses were and some of the things that we were doing. I think
Yeah.
we were on the mat at one point and someone was snorting, and that just sent me into a tizzy.
Yes. Yes.
Um, but you're allowed to have poke fun at yourself and just laugh.
Yeah.
It was great.
It was like a really good reminder of how important it is to kind of like let go. And like you said, just have fun with yourself and make fun of yourself almost. Because you laugh at yourself and what you're doing. It was a really awesome experience. So if anybody listening has not heard of laughter yoga, look it up. It was really cool. Um, but yeah, like just it's so important to find what works for you. And that is something that was so unexpectedly fun,
Yeah.
honestly. Like it was really cool.
Yeah.
But
Thank you, Terry, for turning me
yeah,
on to
thanks,
it.
Terry.
Yeah. Usually when my best friend's like, well, so I have an idea. I'm like, oh boy, what's it, but most of the time we have the greatest adventures. Like she'll steal me for every year for my birthday. She steals me and she's like, hey, don't ask questions. Just get in the car,
Oh, I
which
love
I love
that.
her. I love her, but her driving's scary. She knows that I suck with that, but I do it anyway. And we have the best time ever. We do.
Yeah. But
So
everybody needs a friend like that, you know?
we do.
I
We
love
do.
it. I love
Yeah.
it. Um, so what you made all of these changes, right? Like you found things that work for you with movement. You found ways to like to go for walks and just like relax and stay present. Um, you know, changes that you made with your diet and things like that, finding new foods. What surprised you the most about how you feel after making all those changes?
Yeah. I mean, I wake up and I have energy most days. Let's put I still have that internal like 5 more minutes, but
Yeah.
it's not because I don't have the energy to get up. It's just I don't want to.
Right.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I can get through the day without that 3 o'clock slump where I'm like, oh, I hit a brick wall.
Right.
And I'll still have days like that. They're few and far between though. That's the difference. It was an everyday thing. Like when I would come home from work, I'd be like, oh, I gotta take a nap. And I would lay down, and the next thing I know, an hour has gone by, and I'm like, what am I doing? And then I wouldn't sleep at night. But I do sleep better. I mean, we're at that age where sleeping is not great.
Mhm.
Perimenopause and menopause and things like that. However, when I do sleep, it's a deeper sleep. Um, I have my days, and we're working on that. But I do, yeah, I have more energy, just more positive, believe it or not. You know, I can get through life like I'm not like, oh, everything is doom and gloom.
Right.
And it sounds so cliche, but you do. Your body your mind shifts. That food noise is not really there anymore. You know, and I have the power to stop and be like, am I really hungry? Or am I just bored?
Right.
And before that, I'd be like, oh, chips are right there. Let me go get them. And I don't go for that right now. If I want a snack, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go see what's in the fridge, and I'll have like, oh, there are carrot sticks in there with peanut butter. Don't knock it till you try it. And
That's
Carrie,
what I tell everybody.
when I first saw you do that, I was like, she's out of her absolute mind. And
Everybody
then I'm like,
says that.
yeah, it's good. It's so good. Go try it. But yeah, like little things like that, just your whole world changes when your body changes.
Yeah.
And
Love that.
if I have pain, it's not, it's because I overdid it. It's not because like my body's inflamed and yes, I still have days where my body feels inflamed and whatever, but it's few and far between, which is magical.
Right. Magical. I love that you just used that word
Yeah.
because it's true. When you feel those changes, it feels magical. That's like the
Yeah.
perfect way to explain it. Yeah.
Yeah. I really have not felt this good since like high school. And even in high school, I struggled my entire life with weight. Um,
Mhm.
and I just was like in denial, I guess. Like, you're overweight, but like you don't want to admit that. And then when you have to go buy a bigger size, that doesn't feel great.
No,
What does
yeah.
feel great is going and, not even caring about the size right now. I go in, okay, like my body feels good, and I'm actually liking clothes now, which is
Mhm.
crazy to me. It took me a while to get out of that mindset. Like, you're not that size anymore. And, my daughter came home. She's like, Mom, what are you doing? That's huge on you. Like, it doesn't look good. Like, you're not that size anymore. Like, and it does. Your body and your mind play tricks on you.
Yeah.
And that was like one of the biggest struggles, like just saying to myself, hey, you can go get a smaller size. Go try that on, and allow yourself to do that and feel good about it.
Right. And feel good to have the confidence.
Yeah.
I think that was the most surprising thing for me, like on my wellness journey, was that my confidence completely changed. And I wasn't expecting that, like, because I never went into it saying, I need more confidence or I want to feel more confident, but it was just kind of like a natural side effect.
Yeah. You
Right.
don't realize that maybe you don't have the confidence that you need
Yes.
until you have more confidence, and you're like, oh, wow, I was really like, let me shrink in the background. And, we aren't
Yeah.
meant to just blend in with life. We are meant to shine, whatever way that may be for someone. And listen, not everybody wants to go into a room and like, here I am. I'm not that person. But you're meant to shine in different ways. And if you don't have that confidence, you're not going to be your best self.
I love that so much. Yes. It's true. You're not going to be your best self without the confidence.
Right.
And it's just something that's so unexpected. It's an unexpected, wonderful side effect.
Hmm.
I love that. I have, I think probably one more, maybe two more questions for you.
Sure.
Looking back now at your journey, well, how long has it been?
February will be 2 years, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
looking back now, like at the past 2 years, what would you tell another really busy mom who just found out that her glucose numbers are high, she's pre-diabetic or diabetic, and she's like super stressed and feels like there's no way she can manage this?
Well, first I would say take a deep breath, and you absolutely need to just take a minute and take it in and then move on. And I don't mean forget it. I mean, take a small step, call your best friend, talk it out with them. You know, make a small change, like seek out the right doctor. And believe me, it takes a while, but put yourself first for once in your life. And as a mom, I know that is nearly impossible. A mom would never, right? But you have to put yourself first and make sure that you're going to be around for your kids.
Yeah.
Yes, you're a busy mom, but if you're feeling like garbage and you're getting sick all the time, you're not going to be there for them. But
And I think
yeah,
it's
stop
important.
and take a
Yeah, and it's important to note too, like 2 years ago, your kids were still in your house. Like,
yeah,
as somebody who's listening to this now can be like, okay, well, she said she's an empty nester. Her kids are in college, so
right.
maybe it's easier for her. But 2 years ago, your
Yeah.
son was still home. You were still doing
Mm,
all the things and making the
yeah.
dinners for everybody and taking care of everybody,
Yep.
while trying to prioritize yourself.
Right. So my son had a very busy schedule. He was part of ROTC, and if those of you that might not know that, it's military based in high school. Um, and listen, I'm the type of mom, I'm all in. He would have to go to drill meets, and I was the president of their PTA. So
Hmm.
I would be up, and we'd have to be at that school for 5 a.m., sometimes earlier. And it's very easy to just be like, oh, I'll grab something there. Oh, I'll grab this like snack bar.
Right.
I had to the night before make sure that I'm packing things that are going to sustain my body. So it wasn't that, and I'm at a different time now, of course. It might seem like it's easier now, but back then it was not. And there was so much stress, like, for my son and for me, like, is he going to get into the right college? Is he, like, did you get your essay done? Did you, like, senioritis? I have to yell at them,
Yeah.
like, what are you doing? So senior year is stress for the moms, let me tell you. Um,
I can't wait.
yeah, it's an amazing time for them. They've earned the great time to just have their senior year, but it's definitely, you got to keep them on their toes. The senioritis does kick in, and you have to like be like, oh, what are we doing? Finish strong, and he did. But it's your job as a mom is never done.
Hmm.
I'm still parenting them, even though they're 2 hours away. But yeah, it was a lot. Like, I find myself now that there's no meetings to go to. There's no activities. Like, I very easily could come home and be like, all right, I'm gonna eat all day. We're not gonna do that.
Right.
But yeah, it was a lot the last 2 years. Like, junior, senior year. Now he's back in, freshman in college. It's still stressful. Like, it's that you gotta let go a little bit. You cannot control what they're doing.
Like you said, they're
My
baby
kids
adults.
Yeah, my kids sometimes share a little too much, but I got Life 360 when they were in high school, just to make sure they were safe, and they stalk me now, but that's a different
they've
story.
they've turned
But
the tables.
like, they'll call me, be like, "Oh, we're gonna go out tonight," so stressed out, make sure they get home on time,
Yeah,
and in one piece, things like that. Make sure that they're going to classes, but you gotta let it go. But as a mom, that's stressful. But yeah, so
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah. I think your story and your journey is so encouraging and inspiring, and you
Well,
inspire me
thank you.
every day. You truly do.
Well, thank you.
Um, it's just you're amazing and all the changes that you made and you didn't give up. And, it's so inspiring. And I think you're going to inspire so many people.
I hope so. Listen, if I can do it, anyone can. Start small. You don't have to change the world in one day. Like, the
Yeah.
great leaders of the world, do you think that they changed in one day? No. Great book writers. I think it's what is the Harry Potter books.
Yeah.
She wrote so many, and she was rejected so many times, and she didn't give up, and she's like multi-million-dollar woman now. So
There's movies and
if J.K.
everything.
Rowling can do it, I think you guys can too. You can make small changes, right?
I love that. It's true. It's so true.
Yeah. And if you mess up one day, that's okay. Like I said before, you don't have to wait till Monday. Every day is a new day. Make it a great one.
Right.
you know?
It's part of your lifestyle now.
Absolutely.
Own that. I feel like you have to really own that. Like, this is a lifestyle, and
Yeah.
the small things add up.
Right. It's not a diet. It's just I changed the way I view everything in life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. Well, Nicole, thank you so much for sharing your story with us
Thank
today.
you.
Yeah, it's a really powerful reminder that we're not stuck with a diagnosis,
Nope.
that we have power over our health and our lives,
Mhm.
and that sustainable real life changes, they add
Yeah.
up. You start small and they add up and they really make a difference.
Yeah. You are not your diagnosis. You know, you are your person and you have to find the person that you're meant to be and you can overcome it. And, you know, if you're a diabetic for the rest of your life, that's okay. We can make better changes.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing your story with
Thank
everybody.
you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be doable. You've got this, and I'm here cheering you on every step of the way. If you found this helpful, share it with a mom friend who's ready to add a little more ease into their day. Hit subscribe so you don't miss any episodes, and if this resonated with you, I'd really appreciate it if you could leave a review. It will help other busy moms like you find my content. You can also follow me on Instagram at holisticallyfitandhealthy for more health and wellness tips. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you next time.